Up guys, it's Denim again. We're back for another kind of absolute beginner's trick tip. Hopefully you've seen the one before this and you're comfortable with pushing around and getting yourself moving, and a couple of basic tricks as well. Today we're going to move on to turning. Obviously that's pretty important if we're going to be rolling around. There's a couple of main ways to turn, so I'm going to talk you through both of them. The second one, which is a tic tac, is going to be a bit more technical, and it's going to set you up for things like manuals as well. So let's take a bit of a look and see if we can get them down. So the first way that we can turn is by using the trucks, so the axles underneath, these metal bits. Now you'll notice that these will move side to side a bit, and we can turn by leaning either to our toes or our heels, depending of course on which way around you ride, if you're regular or goofy. So for me, I'm regular. If I lean towards my toes, then I'm going off to the right hand side. If I lean to my heels, I'm turning off to the left. So have a look at the video here. You can see the trucks moving, and depending on which way I lean, that's the direction in which I'm going. So you can see the trucks bending here, so leaning towards my toes, I'd be going right. Towards my heels, I'd be turning left. Get used to that motion a little bit. So when we're turning by leaning, this is all well and good, but unless your trucks are super loose, you're not going to turn all that quickly. And when you're starting out, if your trucks are really loose, you're going to struggle to keep control a little bit. So there's another way to turn, which we call Tic Tac Turning, which looks a bit like this. So with Tic Tac Turning, rather than using the trucks, what we're doing is we're pushing down on the tail, so the back of the board, to bring the front wheels up, and swinging the board to wherever we want to go, pivoting on these back wheels, okay? So the way we do this is we want to be in that same position as when we're riding along. So if you remember step 3 from when we were learning how to push, and what we want to do is, rather than leaning back, we're going to apply a little bit of pressure onto the tail this time. We're going to keep our front knee quite supple so that it bends up a little so the board can come up. Now you want to start at first just by learning to bring the front wheels up and put them back down, because that's the movement that you're going to need. So you're pushing down a little bit on the tail. As soon as those front wheels come up, push the front foot back down just to bring your board level again. So you want to keep your weight fairly central, your knees bent. We're going to push down on that back foot, not lean back, but just push down. So pushing on the back foot to bring the front of the board up, and then pushing the board back into the floor with the front foot. Once you've got used to that, we want to think about using our upper body. So rather than just pushing on the tail and then pushing down again to stop the board, what we want to do is use our shoulders. You can almost point to where you want to go if you want, because wherever you point to, your hips turn with. So we want to push down on the tail and swing our front foot in whatever direction we want to go in. So as you can see here, wherever my arms are pointing to, my hips are turning with. So we want to use that on our board. So when we step on and we're getting ready to tic tac, we can almost point to where we want to go. So we're going to push down on that back foot, point to where we want to go, swing the arm and swing our front foot to wherever our arm's heading. You might find when you're starting to tic tac that going towards your toes is kind of an easier way to do it. That's because we can see where we're going. If you're going towards your heels, so front side, it's a little bit harder. That's because you're turning blind, so you can't really see where you're going. So when you're learning to turn front side, you want to try and look into it a little bit and look over that shoulder and really twist those shoulders around to help you get the turn. Otherwise what you find is that your board sometimes turns but you're not quite going with it. Be quite confident with that one. Make sure you're really using the shoulders, getting the board round and getting that front foot back on to stop you slipping out. So this time, turning towards our heels, we're doing the same thing, winding our arms up and swinging them to where we want to go, but swinging that foot behind us and looking over our shoulder a little bit to see where we're heading and spot a landing. So if you're wanting to do bigger turns, bigger tic tacs, it's all about kind of using those shoulders a little bit more. So if you're winding your shoulders right up, imagine if you were trying to jump in a full 360. You can't do it with just having your shoulders and arms dead straight. You've got to wind them up first and then release them to get the momentum. That's pretty much what we're going to be doing when we're tic-tacking. So here's a bit of an example of that for you. So if I'm wanting to do a 1 foot spin, if I don't wind my shoulders, I'm going nowhere. So if I wind them up and release them, that's going to give me the momentum and help me get a much bigger turn. Same for tic-tacs. So here's a bit of a recap. So you're winding your arms up a bit to get some momentum using your shoulders. Push down on your back foot, and as you do that, swing your front foot to meet wherever your arm's pointing, and it'll take you in that direction. So that's tic-tacking. You can play around with this quite a lot. You can set out a bit of a challenge for yourself, see if you can do figure of eights around some cones. Get really comfortable with this, because that pivoting motion is going to be really important for like kick turns on ramps, reverts, things like that as well. So make sure you get this one down. If you're really comfortable with it, try doing bigger turns. See if you can get full 180s going and get them really smooth. It might take a little while to figure out the movement, but remember, keep that upper body engaged. That's going to help you get the front of the board round a little bit. If you feel like you're slipping backwards as well, just get your front foot and push the board back into the flow. Remember, we're not leaning back, we're just pushing down on the tail a little bit. Brilliant, so go and have a bit of fun with it, get practicing them, and they'll come to you in time. It's not the easiest technique to learn, but once you've got these, you've got a pretty good basis to start learning tricks. Because then you know your board control, you know how to use both feet, and you know how to use your upper body as well. So this is a really good kind of all-around drill for really getting board control down and building your confidence as well. Give it a try. If you have any questions, let us know. Best of luck and have fun. Cheers.